Hello, and welcome to my channel. You can call me Yummy Tay. Hi, I'm Yummy Tay Shear. I've tried on several occasions to get one of my videos ready for this channel, and I've been having nothing but trouble trying to upload. So I'm starting all over again, straight here on YouTube. This is a place, I can't hardly breathe in here. Excuse me. This is a place where I decided it'd be good therapy for me to talk about things that have happened in my past. I've had one wild and crazy ride of a life, and I just thought this would be, even if I don't get subscribers, but I hope that I do. I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel. I have lots to talk about and things that went on in my life. For starters, I'll just start at the beginning. And in the beginning, I was born here in Texas, where I live now, in a little west town in Texas called Brownwood. And when my sister was born, 2 years later, we lived in a town called Wichita Falls. And when she was born, we moved to California. And I lived there until I was 24 years old. Anyway, one of my first memories of living there was in Arcadia, and I was walking around. I was 3 years old, and I had a salt shaker, and I kept licking it, and my aunt was babysitting. She got mad, and she took the salt shaker and started shaking it in my mouth, and the lid fell off, and I nearly lost my life. I choked to death on all that salt, just choked and choked. Upset her. She still feels bad about it to this day, and that was over 50-something years ago. So I guess it's the first things you remember in life are the traumatic things. Another time we were at a park, and they had this like homemade pond, kind of like the Beverly Hillbillies cement pond they called the pool. It was cement but deep and had ducks and stuff in it. And I was leaning over trying to feed them, the ducks, and my mom kept saying don't get so close, but I remember falling in, and it was like a dream. It was kind of cool. And it was really green. The water was dark and green, and I kept falling and falling. And the next thing I knew, I was pulled out. I wasn't scared, but my parents were. That was a near-death experience. They wrapped a blanket around me and spoiled me for the rest of the day. Again, I was like 3 years old, maybe 2. These are my earliest memories. Another time in Arcadia at 3 years old, our next-door neighbors would come over, and we would play with them, and we had a bunch of Coke bottles that we'd saved that my parents would return for money, for a deposit. And I remember my dad gave me this instruction not to play with those bottles. Just leave them alone. And one of my friends one day took a bottle, and I took it from him and told him he couldn't play with it. And I ran because he wanted it back. And when I was running, I fell, and I cut my hand to pieces. I was screaming and crying, and my dad picked me up and swatted me on the butt because he was so upset. I guess he was just anxious with all the screaming, and took me over to the sink and put me on a chair and started pulling the glass out of my hand. I still have lots of scars on my hand from then. Again, I was only 3 years old. So this is the beginning of my memories. And one of my better memories that living there in Arcadia was this old Hispanic man came up. He had a pony, and he was a photographer. And I didn't even know what horses were yet. I remember asking my mom what that was, and she said it was a horse. I got my picture made. It was an exciting day for me, and my sister got hers made. And ever since then, growing up, I begged my parents for a horse every birthday, every Christmas. I caught horse fever at 3 years old. Still have it to this day. Crazy about horses, but can't afford them. Maybe if this channel takes off and I get some followers on here, maybe one day I can have horses in my life again. Boy, I hope so. I remember hearing combat music to a show called Combat playing in the background, and one day it came on TV, and it just took me back to Arcadia at age 3 and realizing that's the show that my dad was watching. Well, this is just an introduction to my station, and I've got lots of things to talk about. And please leave your comments. And I hope I don't get any trolls. Trolls drive me crazy. And anyways, this is the start of my first memories. And I've got plenty to share. Hope you enjoyed listening and have a blessed day. Bye.